um, those YouTubers and those YouTube viewers that you wanted to dog so much are part of the reason that you had the job you had last night. They're part of the reason you got paid. They're part of the reason Logan and Floyd got paid. Hello, Boobalas. Welcome back. I hope you are all doing fantastic today. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Mandy, and this is Mandy's Take. Just a little series where, from time to time, I give my thoughts, theories, sometimes rant on various subjects, usually related within the internet world, YouTube, Twitch, things like that, but sometimes in the political world, sometimes just the world in general. So anyway, welcome guys, and I'm sure you've seen the title. I kind of want to have a little discussion about the Mayweather versus Paul fight. Yes, okay, right off the bat, let's get this on out there. A lot of people have been dogging people for paying for this fight. Yes, me and my husband, we paid for this fight. We had reasons we paid for this fight. Okay, number one, love Logan or hate him, the boy has done a lot of things that most people would not be able to do, including barely having his foot in the professional boxing world and managing to get this bout with Floyd Mayweather. A lot of people would say Mayweather's the GOAT. They would. I think he's great, but I don't necessarily think he's the GOAT. But that's another discussion. It was going to be really interesting to see this basically fledgling pro boxer take on someone that was on Mayweather's level. Again, Floyd Mayweather is one of those, he's kind of like Logan in a lot of ways. He is I guess you'd say the Logan Paul of boxing. He is a very polarizing figure. Mayweather is kind of the same deal as with Logan. With Logan, people either love him or hate him. It's pretty much the same way with Mayweather. However, where both men are concerned, love them or hate them, they have both pulled off things that most people would never be able to do. And for us, that was part of the draw to this fight. The reason we were willing to pay for it is we respect both of them. We have good and bad thoughts on both men, but we respect both of them. So we were really interested to see how this was going to go. And like I said, this fledgling pro boxer taking on Mayweather, it was, to us, that was a big draw as well. And I'm not going to lie, when it comes to boxing, I wouldn't necessarily say that Gray or I, either one, would have wanted to see Logan beat Mayweather or Mayweather beat Logan. But of course, there's a but. Part of us was really rooting for Logan because of the simple fact we got tired of seeing so many people, including Floyd, talk shit about YouTubers. Like it's somehow shameful to be a YouTuber. Like YouTubers are just stupid and, we're idiots. We're never going to do anything with our lives. And no, we are by no means on Logan Paul's level. We know that. We're not delusional. But it was just kind of like, in that moment, Logan was kind of representing all YouTubers. And then we get to watching the fight and the commentary. If we had not paid for that fight, we would have turned it off just because of the commentary. Point blank. don't get me wrong, there is smack talk in all sports. That's just a fact. It's been that way since the beginning of time. It will be that way forever. And in a lot of ways, the smack talk is actually kind of beneficial. It builds up the hype around whatever particular game or match is happening, whether it be football, boxing, baseball. There's going to be smack talk from all sides, and the fans love to get in on it. It makes the fans feel like they're, really part of something. All right, good example. Alabama, Tennessee. All right. Any you college ball watchers, you know what I'm talking about, especially if you are from Alabama or Tennessee. I grew up in the middle of that rivalry, okay? I was an Alabama fan. Most of my family were Tennessee fans. The smack talk was real, people. Let me tell you, we gave each other hell. Hell. But it was all in good fun. What I saw out of those commentators last night was not all in good fun. They were vicious and cruel on a level that went beyond smack talk. They honestly looked down their noses at YouTubers, and some of the comments they made were aimed at people who watch YouTube, the viewers. They have this opinion that YouTubers and YouTube viewers are beneath them, that they're stupid. It was just really, it was disgusting, to be honest. And I hate to tell those same commentators, but you little pricks, those YouTubers and those YouTube viewers that you wanted to dog so much are part of the reason that you had the job you had last night. They're part of the reason you got paid. They're part of the reason Logan and Floyd got paid. Those sponsors you had, a lot of those sponsors were born from influencers on YouTube promoting them. That's how they were able to grow to be able to sponsor the friggin' fight. So check yourself. I'm sorry, but that was just absolutely ridiculous and uncalled for. Another thing they did, and I'm honestly not sure if they were doing this on purpose or not. Logan and Jake have both openly talked about how people constantly call Logan Jake. And I know a lot of people do that as a mistake. It's just a slip of the tongue, or they've honestly confused the two brothers. But after all the hype that's been built around this fight, I'd be willing to bet those commentators knew Logan's name. They knew that was not Jake. More than once, I heard them call him Jake. I think it was just purposely a way to insult him, honestly. In which that right there, that could be part of the smack talk. It's not that big a deal. It just, on top of everything else, it just kind of irked me a little bit, Now, as far as the actual fight went, I'm not going to lie. When I first heard about this fight, my gut instinct was probably what everybody else's was. Mayweather is going to murder Logan Paul. That was just my first thought. Floyd Mayweather is going to eat Logan Paul for lunch. But then I got to kind of watching a little more about the way Logan was training, listening to him a little more, and I thought, well, okay, maybe he's got, a tiny shot at making it to the third round, Honestly, though, he surprised the hell out of me and my husband both. Boy held his own. I mean, that young man walked in there knowing that most people wanted to see him get knocked out. He went in there knowing he was going up against a man that is a boxing great. He's lethal. And I mean, I know Logan talked about, oh, okay, I got this many pounds on Floyd. I'm taller than Floyd. I'm younger than Floyd. All that crap don't matter. Honestly, it was Floyd freaking Mayweather. So I think, that was just Logan trying to build up the hype and possibly trying to hype himself up, because he had to have known he was risking bodily harm walking in there. He had to have known that. He held his own, and he got in some good shots himself. He really, really did. The biggest mistakes I saw him make, this is just my opinion. Number one, he wore himself out way too early. He did. He wore himself out. And that kind of goes back to the whole thing that he kept talking about himself. I'm bigger than Mayweather. I'm bigger than Mayweather. Yeah, you're bigger than him, but that could play against you too, because you're going to wear out faster. You're going to get winded quicker. And that's kind of what I saw happening. One other thing, and again, this is just my opinion, I think at times he was kind of letting his wrestler instincts kick in. For those of you who may not know, Logan wrestled in high school. He competed, and the way I understand it, he was actually very good. A lot of the times when, it's a big meme going around the internet now, but the hugging, I think part of that may have been some of his wrestler instincts trying to kick in. Couple of times the way I saw him walk around the ring reminded me more of a wrestler than a boxer. So I think maybe he was falling back on that and really shouldn't have been. But again, that's something that will change as he gets more experience. Of course, Floyd Mayweather, being Floyd Mayweather, he performed great. There was a couple of times I saw that I thought, okay, that was just kind of crappy, but that's part of it too. And no athlete is ever going to perform perfectly in anything they're doing. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say that, because if you know me in real life, I was a big Tyson fan. I've been a fan of Mike since I was a kid. There's a couple of times I watched him box that I could say, yeah, that was perfect. But most of the time, most athletes are not going to perform perfectly throughout an entire match, an entire game, whatever. But, it was Floyd Mayweather. So he was on top of his game. Even a couple of things that I didn't really agree with, he was still on top of his game. I think his biggest mistake was underestimating Logan. I really do. And, in any sport, people will tell you point blank, that your biggest mistake is to underestimate your opponent. And I think that's what Floyd did. He underestimated Logan a lot. At the same time, so much respect for Floyd Mayweather with his comments at the end of the fight.
To move around with these young guys, test my skills, just to have some fun. Great young fighter, strong, tough. He's better than I thought he was.
He even admitted Logan surprised him. He gave Logan credit. And Logan's response after the fight, and you know what? I'm just going to, oh, Lord, please don't let me get hit for copyright. But I'm going to insert a little bit of that right here.
I don't want anyone to tell me anything is impossible ever again. The fact that I'm in here with one of the greatest boxers of all time proves that the odds can be beat. I'm the maverick. I go right when they go left. I'm the unorthodox one. I'm the independent one. And everyone has it in them. And everyone can beat the odds and do great things in life. And I want everyone to know that. That's the message I'm here to say. Floyd Mayweather, it was an honor. I hate being a dickhead. I love you guys.
And guys, love him or hate him, he was speaking truth there. Basically, what I walked away with from this fight was, in my eyes, Logan kind of proved all of the smack that was getting talked about YouTubers was BS. He absolutely proved the smack that was being talked about him personally was BS. Logan could... A lot of people aren't going to like this. A lot of people are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. I mean, we're all entitled to our own opinions, and, a friendly debate is always welcome. That's part of how we grow and become better people. But in my opinion, if Logan continues to train, he gets some more experience under his belt, in a couple of years, he could be a beast of a fighter. I'm just going to say it. The boy has all the potential in the world. We've already seen what he can do in everything else he's chosen to do in his life. I think he could do it. I think he could very well end up being a major contender. Is that something he wants? Is that something he's definitely going to stay dedicated to? Who knows? I guess we'll have to see. But basically, last night, I know Logan and Floyd both made major bank off that fight. They're businessmen. And I see a lot of people dogging them for this. Why? Why would you dog them for this? It's not like they, ripped anybody off. I've seen a lot of people say, I got ripped off. No, you didn't. You paid for a fight. You got a fight. And to me, it was honestly an entertaining show. Why would you fault them for making money? I don't understand that. I also see a lot of people still talking smack about, YouTuber, Logan got his ass handed to him, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. To me, Logan proved himself last night. Both Logan and Floyd put on a hell of a show. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And they were both smart businessmen that made some money doing something they both obviously love to do. So I think they were both winners last night, and I have a whole lot of respect for both of them. But of course, we all know the internet is the internet, full of assholes who are going to run their mouth no matter what. So I'm just going to try to overlook most of them. But I just walked away with a lot of respect for both men, and my one thing is kind of like what I've seen a lot of people saying. I did want to see a knockout. I ain't gonna lie. As a boxing fan, a knockout would have been amazing. I would like to see a rematch with actual judges this time. I would really like to see how that would go. But, maybe that's something they'll entertain doing at some point. Hopefully, fingers crossed. If I hear anything, I will definitely keep you guys updated. But yeah, that's just kind of my take on the whole Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul situation. And let me know what your thoughts are on it. Did you watch? If you did, what are your thoughts on the fight? On how each man performed? On the commentators and their crappy mess? Just let me know what your thoughts on it are. Alright, guys, thank you for hanging out with me. I'm going to quit rambling for right now, but there'll be another Mandy's Take coming soon. I'm in the... Got my little notebook over here. Been making a list of several things that are really getting on my nerves that I think I want to rant about a little. So, yeah, there'll be another Mandy's Take coming soon. You've been warned. Alright, thanks so much for hanging out with me, guys. If you enjoyed your time here, please hit that like button. Consider hitting that subscribe button. And if you do, make sure you hit that little bell so you get notifications. All right, guys, I'm out of here for right now. But until next time, as always, reach for the stars and aim high. Do it every day in everything you do. And I promise you, your future self is going to thank you. All right, catch y'all later. Bye, guys.